Francis Marion University for today's matchup between the visiting Belmont Abbey Crusaders and the host Francis Marion University Patriots. Before we get into some game details, and meanwhile I'm here with Alex Wober. My name's Paul McDonald, thrilled to bring this game to you today. I want to first talk about National Girls and Women in Sports Day, which is today, February 2nd, 2022. It marks the 36th annual National Girls and Women in Sports Day. Celebration inspires girls and women to play and be active, realize their full power. The confidence, strength, and character gained through sports participation are the very tools girls and women need to become strong leaders in sports and in life. This year's event will also serve as the kickoff of the Women's Sports Foundation's activations for the 50th anniversary of Title IX, happening throughout 2022. So first, let's kick it off, and we're going to talk first about introducing the starters for the Belmont Abbey College Crusaders. Number 0, Taylor Stelly. She is a senior from Kissimmee, Florida. Number 5, Joe Snow, senior guard from Mount Airy, North Carolina. She's a transfer from Wingate University. Number 24, Kiana Spivey. She is a senior forward from Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Number 32, Kelly Thomas, the senior center, Ocoee, Florida native is Kelly Thomas. And lastly, for Belmont Abbey College, the starters, 35, Sydney Addison. She is a sophomore from Brasstown, North Carolina. The team is coached by Jason Williams, assisted by Jenny DeGroff.
Can you handle the 2022 Patriots?
So while we get ready to introduce the Francis Marion Patriots, Alex, we've really got to talk about what a hot streak both squads are bringing in to today's matchup. For FMU, they've won 7 of their last 8. Belmont Abbey College, 6 of their last 7. Alex, I'm really looking forward to this matchup today. We got to see what's got to give between two hot teams.
I have to agree, Paul, because looking at Belmont Abbey's roster, and I said this on a few streams earlier this season, there really hasn't been a team that's been able to battle down low with the Patriots. UNCP was really the first team that gave them trouble down low. They're facing a roster tonight that's got some 6'3" players, 6'2", 6 foot. So I think Lauren Taylor and Zarya Woods are going to have a lot to deal with down low tonight.
They are. They're going to see a quality matchup from the bigs for Belmont Abbey. And big is how Francis Marion likes to play, along with sharpshooter, three-point shooter Scarlett Gilmore, one of the starters for the women's basketball squad. So let's get to those starters. For Francis Marion University Patriots, the starters are number 4, Scarlett Gilmore, guard, 5'7" from Rock Hill, South Carolina. Number 5, Jasmine May. She's a guard, 5'8", from Sanford, North Carolina. She's a transfer from Oral Roberts University. Number 11, Anaya Oliver. She's going to handle the point guard duties for FMU today. 5'5" from Goose Creek, South Carolina. Number 15, one of those bigs we were talking about. Number 15, Zarya Woods, forward/center. You're going to see her in a little bit of both roles, that 4 and that 5 role for the Patriots. She's from Lancaster, South Carolina. And the other big we're going to talk about, you're going to hear her number called a lot today. Alex, let's talk a little bit first off about Lauren Taylor's season, number 32 from Blythewood, South Carolina.
She has been one of the most just influential players, I think, on this team. She brings a lot of the best out in a lot of these players, and I think, you know, this team is still very good, but when Lauren's on her game, the rest of the team is on their game. And, you know, when she really gets into that groove and they start feeding her in the paint, you really get to see the true impact that she brings to this team.
That's right, and one of the unique things about Lauren is she'll go hard underneath, and just when you least expect it, she'll step out to the three-point line and throw one up. That's no mistake. That's not shot clock issues. That's a part of the game plan. And if you want to talk about the game plan for Belmont Abbey, it starts with Joe Snow. More than half of Joe Snow's makes have been three-point strokes. So look for Joe Snow to let it rain today here at FMU. And we're off and running with the Patriots winning the tip-off. It's Anaya Oliver quickly getting the ball to Zarya Woods. Right now, a man defense for Belmont Abbey. The first swing from Lauren Taylor goes up against the glass. Rebound to the Crusaders. Taylor Stelly brings up the ball. A lot of perimeter movement here so far. Good post play defended by Zarya Woods. Back to Taylor Stelly. Stelly drives the paint. She's going to throw a teardrop for the first points of the game. Good work by her.
She takes what you give. I mean, when you leave the lane that wide open for a point guard like that, she's going to have no ease putting up a basket like that.
Yes, and from that range, that was an easy one. Uncontested, great work by Taylor Stelly. Talk about good work so far. Rebounding for Crusaders. They are flawless, cleaning the glass against 2 Patriot misses early on, only a minute into the first quarter.
Yeah, 2 misses from the Patriots that honestly could have been makes, but a tough start, yeah, for FMU.
Yep, and again driving the paint. This time, Keanu Spivey. This time, the Patriots rebound, driving the lane, tossing the ball up. Great rebound by Zarya Woods for the finish.
That's going to be something we see a lot tonight, Paul. Second chance points and points in the paint. We're already seeing that early. Even though Belmont Abbey's a great shooting team, I think that they're going to have to fight fire with fire, take it down low.
Yes, and that's what's so fun about this matchup. Both teams are going to have to take care of the glass. There's no surprises. You're going to see both teams trying to work underneath. Sure enough, there's working underneath is Kelly Thomas, the lengthy 6'2" post up there. She misses, but she's going to go to the line.
It's one of the biggest players that Zarya Woods or Lauren Taylor has had to defend this season, and we'll see how good she is today and how these two are going to battle it out down low, because when we saw Zarya and Lauren Taylor last play against UNCP, I mean, they really gave it to them down low. So Belmont Abbey, we'll see if they can do the same thing tonight.
Yep, and the lefty stroke is good. The first toss from Kelly Thomas is great from the line. And entering into the game is going to be Brittany Autry, number 44, the senior center from Mineral Springs, North Carolina, entering the game for Belmont Abbey. The lefty stroke from Kelly Thomas is good, 2 for 2 on free throw attempts for her to get the game started for the Crusaders. Scarlett Gilmore with a little shake and bake, trying to get some space, but great defense from the Crusaders. Crusaders in a man-to-man, as we mentioned before, definitely sticking with that as Zarya Woods sneaks down underneath, tries to get a ball to go off the glass. 2 players very, very ferociously going after the rebound. They almost fumbled that ball. Instead, eventually the rebound to Taylor Stelly. Good work underneath. Count it for Brittany Autry.
You don't see Zarya Woods giving up easy baskets like that to just anybody. So Belmont Abbey, hot start down low.
And again, another hot start. How about that rebound from Keanu Spivey? Good work from Belmont Abbey. They definitely have a game plan. They're going to work the perimeter, and then they're driving the lane, getting it down underneath almost every time. Joe Snow driving that lane right straight down the paint for 2. Patriots happy to move the ball around and slow the tempo down, whereas Belmont Abbey puts the pressure on about as soon as they get the ball down on their side of the half court. Scarlett Gilmore to inbound.
Substitutions for Belmont Abbey. Number 3.
I'm really hoping to see a lot more from Scarlett this game. You know, she has been a very pivotal point to this team all season long. Last game, she had a little bit of a slump from the three-point line, so hoping to see her get started early from behind the arc.
Yes, hot and cold has been the season for Scarlett Gilmore. And really, you want to talk about a hot start, how about that start from Jasmine May? Great stroke there, a long-range 2. Also in the game now for Belmont Abbey, Sydney Addison, sophomore from Brasstown, North Carolina. Number 35 in the game. Rebound of the Patriots. Again, patiently moving that ball underneath, but not patient enough. Poor pass from Zarya Woods. Way overshooting Lauren Stanley. Belmont Abbey with another possession. Joe Snow draws the foul. Foul from Scarlett Gilmore. And that foul underneath. And we're going to have to keep an eye on that foul trouble for both the Patriots and Belmont Abbey. Anytime you talk about teams driving the lane, driving the paint, it also generally means fouls throughout the game. We'll have to see how both squads substitute in addition to how players react after fouls they like, fouls they agree with, disagree with too. We'll see what that mentality is like for both of these squads. Nia Oliver calmly flips it to Woods. Back underneath, this time a perfect pass to Lauren Taylor. Lauren Taylor can't get the underneath shot to go. Well defended by number 44, Brittany Autry underneath. Snow with another teardrop. This one misses. 8-4 early on. We've gone about 4 minutes into the first quarter. That's going to be a foul against Peyton Nation. Nation came into the game moments ago. The freshman, number 3 from Springboro, Ohio. Patriots having a hard time inbounding. No problem there. They finally get it in. Scarlett Gilmore handling things. Again, the patience to get that ball underneath. Zarya Woods, and then out to the perimeter. Down to 10 seconds on that shot clock. Patriots working to get underneath. They do a great job of it. Zarya Woods tries to kick that ball out. That ball is well defended by the Crusaders. Now down to 6 seconds on the shot clock. We'll have to see what the Patriots draw up here to try to free someone up for a shot.
A pass I probably wouldn't have made if I was that close to the basket and I was as tall as Zarya Woods. Turn around, maybe a little hook shot action right there. You've passed it around the arc enough. Belmont Abbey's doing a great job of defending the 3. Take it down low, stick to your game plan.
Yeah, maybe Zarya Woods learns from that one. Well defended again from the Crusaders. Crusaders with a steal off of the Scarlett Gilmore errant pass. Possession to Taylor Stelly and the Crusaders. Oh, nearly a travel, but she did keep her foot down. I know that the Patriot faithful wants that call, but from our vantage point, that looked like a pretty clean play. Good ball movement from Belmont Abbey. Always somebody available in case of the defense of the Patriots. The attempt to pass underneath, and Peyton Nation is going to hold her finger a little bit. She feels like she jammed her finger against the ball and the floor while Zarya Woods was defending quite nicely. However, turnover results in ball to the Patriots.
Yeah, those diving plays, they're always so heroic, but they can always cause the little injuries, the big injuries, you name it. It's just a dangerous play, but at the same time, it just shows how much tenacity these players have. They're willing to put their bodies on the line to get to some of these balls on the court.
Certainly, the go-for-it level for her was absolutely at 100%. And, hey, if her finger's a little bit dinged up, so be it. A little bit of a miscue over here nearly resulted in a turnover. Instead, Ania Oliver collects it, settles down, and she's going to go ahead and draw something up for Gilmore. Well rebounded by the Patriots. Great rebound by number 25, Keanu Lee, now in the game for the Pats. Keanu Lee, freshman from North Augusta, South Carolina. Lee with the ball, flips it underneath. Fantastic pass. And the old switcheroo on Lauren Taylor. Lauren Taylor tried to back in. However, the defender had eluded her. Lauren Taylor hits the deck. Sneaky move early on for Belmont Abbey. Instead, Belmont Abbey comes back down, and the foul against the Patriots. So we're going to go to a break with the Patriots at a deficit, 4-8 to Belmont Abbey. 4 minutes and 34 seconds to go in the first.
This is Conference Carolinas.
Joining us on the FMU Patriots Network, I'm with Alex Warburg calling this a critical matchup for Belmont Abbey visiting Francis Marion. Just to heads up on upcoming games for the Patriots, both FMU squads will be on the road this weekend playing at Lees McRae College in more key Conference Carolinas play. Lees McRae College on Friday night, King University on Saturday afternoon. Patriot women entertain Chowan University. Next Tuesday, they return to the home confines. Tuesday, February 8th, with a 5:30 p.m. tip-off.
You mentioned those men's basketball games. We'll highlight those two teams, Lees McRae and King University. They really gave those Patriot men a hard time back here at the Smith University Center. So they'll be looking for a little bit of revenge going on up to the mountains this weekend.
That's right. There's a lot to prove. With really midway now through conference, maybe 2/3 of the way through conference play. Still a lot of action to determine seeding for the Conference Carolinas tournament. Meanwhile, Belmont Abbey and Taylor Stelly knocks down the first of her 2 free throw opportunities here. 4:34 to go. Belmont Abbey leads 9-4 after the back end miss from Taylor Stelly. Patriots continue with possession, having a hard time solving the quality man-to-man defense from Belmont Abbey. And that's one way to try, is Scarlett Gilmore trying to drive the lane, but she was trapped by two fantastic long players. Now, the call is going to go with a foul against Brittany Autry, but I do think that Scarlett Gilmore might think twice after trying to go underneath against both Brittany Autry and also the lengthy Kelly Thomas, the senior at 6'2". Quite a matchup against Scarlett Gilmore coming in at 5'7".
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to get a lot of shots over those long arms down low, especially when you come in guns blazing like that, not really got a great view of the basket that much. So I think she was kind of hoping for a foul on that drive, and she definitely got one there.
That's right. You know, keep your fingers crossed for the bucket to go down, but at the very least, you're looking for 2 strokes. She gets them both. FMU now pulls to within 3. More good ball movement from Belmont Abbey. No answer from the Patriots for the great ball movement. That ball eventually slipped down underneath for the lay-in from Brittany Autry. Belmont Abbey up 11-6. Scarlett Gilmore again driving the lane. They're going to say no call on that. There was contact probably both ways. I think you could go either way on that one. So instead, play continues. Rebound, Taylor Stelly. So Stelly just continues to manage her business. Quality rebounding, handling the point guard duties for Belmont Abbey. I've been really impressed with her early on. Sure enough, slip it underneath. Another bucket from Brittany Autry.
She's really on a tear early on here in the first quarter. 6 points so far for her. And like we talked about, the bigs down low are going to be the difference makers tonight. So FMU has to get a little bit tighter down low.
That's right. Well, and all 3 of these, well, that's one way to fix a tough inside game, is to solve it from the 3-point line. How about all 3 of these for the Patriots and Jasmine May? Pardon me, that was Richards with the make. How about Jada Richards with another? So 5 unanswered points from Jada Richards. Pulls the Patriots from within 2. Good steal. Here comes Keanu Lee on the fast break. Move it over to the hot shooting Oliver. In and out. Oh, Patriot fans were sitting on the edge of their seat waiting for that one to drop, waiting for FMU to possibly take the first lead of the game. They haven't had one so far. It's been mostly Belmont Abbey, with FMU starting to scrap back in just the last few minutes.
What a great run there. Good start from a 3-pointer from Richards, and then straight back down the court. Richards goes coast to coast for the layup, really getting the Patriot women a little bit of momentum.
Yep, and another foul. That's going to be a foul against Brittany Autry. That was a foul. So Brittany Autry working against Lauren Taylor underneath is, and that's a matchup that we had talked about. The long, lengthy, strong Brittany Autry against a similarly strong Lauren Taylor. So they are working each other underneath on the box out, trying to get, for Lauren Taylor, trying to get that space to receive a pass. What a matchup it's been so far today.
Something that Lauren Taylor can try and do, Zarya Woods as well down low. Try to get some of Belmont Abbey's bigs in foul trouble, because you lose those 2 down low and you'll start to see some trouble from Zarya Woods and Lauren Taylor.
Keanu Lee to drive the lane. She does get a little bit of space, but then the trap in. So it looked like there was going to be a little bit of room. Peyton Nation then steps in on defense. Peyton Nation's going to get the foul, but again, she's going to deny the easy bucket for the Patriots. So Keanu Lee is going to go to the line.
Crusaders, number 23, Alexis Schultz.
Keanu Lee hitting at a 7-18 clip, so a solid free throw shooter is Keanu Lee. We'll see what she can do from the line with an opportunity to tie up the game.
And a little bit of something to notice here with this Patriots squad on the court. You got 4 bench players here, and that's something that we have honed in on all season long, is that they have so much depth. They're able to bring these players off the bench that can be starters for them. And they come in, they do their job, they do great things. such as Malia Owens, Keanu Lee, Jada Richards, Jasmine Stanley, who also just got on the court as well, can really make a difference for this Patriots squad.
That's right, and for any squad to take the step to the next level, they've got to have a solid bench, and a bench that's prepared to give quality minutes, not just to step in and spell someone to take a break, but to actually give quality minutes and show the opponent a wrinkle. So they certainly have done that with Stanley now stepping into the game, a long player for the Patriots. I'd expect her to be out on the floor a little bit more as the Patriots try to match up size-wise against Belmont Abbey. Quality rebound work from number 44, Brittany Autry, and another rebound for the Patriots. Finally, the Patriots get it. Jada Richards on the spot. Oh, and they're going to call an offensive foul against Jada Richards. So the call is that the positioning was proper there for the Belmont Abbey defender in that for Belmont Abbey. So that's a bit of a surprise that we would see that call on the charge, but the officials were right there. They saw those feet position. It's call against Patriots. Okay, and a bit of a juggle of the feet. That one was a bit subtle, but a little bit of indecision on the side of Joe Snow, trying to decide where to go underneath. Decided to pull back, but when she did, that extra juggle step, the result, easy possession, return to the Patriots.
Yeah, two different turnovers, but, you know, a little bit of a makeup call, I'd like to say. You know, the spin that led to a charge, and then you go down and a little bit of a feet shuffling, you get the travel call, goes your way.
Yep, and meanwhile, FMU breaks the full court press nicely. Belmont Abbey had not shown the press, but the Patriots see it, and they move the ball nicely for an easy lay-in. Smart work by the Patriots to take their first lead of the game at 15-13. Back to underneath work is Belmont Abbey. To no avail. It's going to be a three-point attempt. Good rebounding by Belmont Abbey. But Stanley gets the ball back. Great work by Jasmine Stanley to pick up that ball and get possession back for the Patriots. And it's going to be the double dribble. A bit of a mishandle there on the side of the Patriots. So a golden opportunity missed off of the prior steal. Now you've got Anaya Oliver with the turnover.
Yeah, I think that's
and pardon me, that's going to be Malia Owens. Pardon me on that one, but go ahead.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a missed opportunity, like you said, because you can sort of hold the ball for the last possession with maybe 1 or 2 seconds left. Now the shot clock's off, and Belmont Abbey's going to be able to hold it. That's
right. So Joe Stanley's going to work on that last opportunity. She sees some space. Patriots fast break. They got to work against the clock and the defenders. And it's the and one opportunity. That bucket's going to go. That's a 2-point shot. Now we're going to see if that call, I see one official motioning that call is on the floor, a foul, but I certainly think that that's going to be a make with a free throw with no time remaining. So great job on the fast break. Getting down to the hole was Kiara Lee. She knocks it down. She'll have a free throw before we head into the conclusion here of the first quarter.
And that was just a strong finish by Kiana Lee. I mean, barely 3 seconds left on the clock. You imagine Belmont Abbey holds on to the ball there for the last possession. You get a chance to get some points on the board going into the second quarter. And she did just that, going straight up and sinking the free throw at the line.
That's right. And 18-13, except for a magic stroke from here. And the shot was no good, but hey, pretty close. But after one quarter, Belmont Abbey took all the momentum until about 2 minutes left. The Patriots, out of the end of the first quarter, lead 18-13. Thanks again for joining us on the FM Patriot Network, where the Patriots go on a storm to take an 18-13 lead here at the end after one quarter. And Alex, I don't know about you, but things were looking like a really nip and tuck battle up until about 3 minutes left. Patriots poured it on by taking advantage of a couple of turnovers and also a great fast break at the end with the finish from Keanu Lee. 3-point play, she knocks down the three-pointer. FMU finds himself ahead by 5.
I mean, exactly the way you want to go into the second quarter. Finishing strong at the basket, getting rebounds, getting better as they progress throughout this game. That's what you want to see from all your players on the floor.
Yep, and talk about getting better. I think that was the conversation for Belmont Abbey. Brittany Autry works her way down underneath, gets back to steady play with the bucket to start things off here in the second quarter. Jasmine May with the ball at the point. Back to Keanu Lee. Keanu Lee waiting for the opportunity to sneak it to Zarya Woods. She only had one player she was eyeing to pass on that one. May underneath to Stanley. Oh, great pass to Stanley. Can't quite finish. Stanley was open, but she went with the right hand. Maybe he goes with the left hand, knocks it down. But in the meantime, Belmont Abbey takes over. A good turn and gun opportunity from number 23, Alexis Schultz. First time we've called her name, from Fernandina Beach, Florida, now in the game for the Crusaders. Another travel for Zarya Woods. She knew it as soon as she shot it. She didn't even look at the official. And sure enough, that's a travel. She juggled her feet when trying to get her feet set to take that shot.
Yeah, I mean, as a coach, you know, you wouldn't get too mad about a travel, but this is the third travel in the last, I don't know, about 5 minutes of this game. So you might hear a couple words from Coach Porter if these calls keep up.
That's right. And there's a difference between a forced turnover and an unforced turnover. I think any viewer would tell you that that one was unforced, just handing the ball back to Belmont Abbey. What are they going to do? Go back to Brittany Autry up at the elbow. Instead, 3-point stroke from Jasmine, from Snow, Joe Snow, with the miss. Good rebound on the side of Belmont Abbey. But instead, the Patriots are going to take possession here. Oh, yes, and it's going to be a foul call. Oh, that's right. Okay. A foul against the Patriots. That's Jasmine Stanley. So the Patriots and Belmont Abbey were walking the other way. Nobody realized that that foul was actually called against the Patriots. Joe Snow's going to go to the line.
Checking in with the Crusaders, number 32.
Pardon me, a non-shooting foul.
Number 32, Florence Taylor.
A little bit of confusion. I thought it was on the rebound of the play. I thought she had maybe been called for over the back or just a foul on the floor, something like that. But, yeah, I'm not really sure what was called there.
Yep, and again, great inbound work to try to get that ball back to Brittany Autry. She misses. Now the fast break for the Patriots. How about Keanu Lee going all the way to the line? And she's going to drive the line. This time, the block of the Patriots, the block of the Crusaders not in position. So that's going to be a foul against Taylor Stelly. Keanu Lee is going to go to the line.
Yeah, Keanu Lee just does not care right now because she's just going coast to coast. Every time she gets the ball, she's just going straight at their face. And it's working. I mean, you can't complain. She's heading to the line. She's knocking down free throws. So if I'm Coach Porter, keep it up.
That's right. And if that's a component that they hadn't expected to work, because expecting the bigs to take over a little bit more, but instead if Keanu Lee, again, you were talking about great bench play, Keanu Lee can come in and find a spark, then, hey, so be it. You go with what's working, and sure enough, it's working for Coach Jerry Porter. And now for Keanu Lee. Lee now 7 points on the day. 8:25 to go in the second quarter. FMU with a 5-point lead. The Patriots lead 20-15. Possession to the Crusaders. Into the paint goes number 23, Alexis Schultz. This time, she gets the lefty Glasser to go. Good work by Schultz to drive the lane powerfully. Oh, how about a 3-point answer? All 3 of these for Lauren Taylor.
That's her favorite spot, Paul. I mean, the top of the key, you see her get the ball at the top of the key, I think you know what's coming. And if these Crusaders have been watching tape this week, they know that she's going to take that shot. And you can't let her take that shot because that is her hot spot.
That's right. Now, I like that the Patriots didn't show that until later in the game. That way, they kind of lull the Crusaders to sleep. But talking about being lulled to sleep, Joe Snow's speed lulled the Patriots to sleep on that. She just drove the lane and an uncontested layup. Great run by Joe Snow to get to the glass.
Something I really want to see, Paul, that I saw in the last possession on defense for the Patriots is shadowing Snow, having Anaya Oliver or Scarlett Gilmore or Jasmine May, whichever guard it may be, shadowing her and making sure that if she touches the ball, she has no room to move. That's going to be one of their game plans, if not one of the best game plans that they could probably come up with to stop Snow in general.
That's right, and Snow's movement is second to none. You want to talk about a joy watching her out on the court. We talk a lot about some of the pros. Steph Curry is a master of running for all of the shot clock to find the time and get some space to get an open stroke. If you keep an eye on Joe Snow, you get a lesson on how to run the court and work for the entire possession so as to get a free opportunity to take a shot. And talk about a free opportunity. Kelly Thomas wide open at the free throw line. She knocks down her two-pointer.
And I think that's one of a Big's favorite shots is wide open at the free throw line. Easy opportunity right there.
Yep, and trying to go to the glass is Lauren Taylor. And Taylor goes a little bit too strong. Rebound to Belmont Abbey. Taylor Stelly tries, but is stopped by Oliver. Oliver on the fast break. And Lauren Taylor throws it up on the glass, can't quite knock it down. So right now, I think Lauren Taylor is being smartly pressured by the Crusaders. It is forcing Lauren Taylor to take very out of balance shots, even when she's underneath the rim. We haven't seen her as crisp and balanced with her lay-ins and with her work underneath the rim. It's a credit to the Belmont Abbey pressure to force that. And in the meantime, it does cause a foul sometimes, but if that puts Lauren Taylor on the line, it forces her to make two instead of the easy lay-in.
And something that we have to bring up on that possession that sent Lauren to the line is Anaya Oliver got the rebound and went past 4 Crusaders at half court. It's a 4-on-1 opportunity on the block. Somebody has to make a shot there. I mean, at least you got to the line, that's one thing, but if they were to have missed that shot and not get a foul call, that would have been a wasted opportunity.
That's right, and we're going to get a travel there against number 23, Alexis Schultz. Bit of a juggle step, trying to get to the rim. Now, had she not juggled her feet, she was well on her way, driving the paint to find that space. But, you're right. For the Patriots, especially against such a strong team as Belmont Abbey, they have to take advantage of the advantage possessions, if you will, where you're up 4-on-1 for 4-1 for numbers, 4-2 for numbers. You got to take care of those with baskets or at least getting in the line. Patriots did that on the last possession.
Hey, and one more thing to add to that. Maybe if you're now Oliver there, and you have Lauren Taylor down low. Yes, there may be a mismatch in size, but maybe get it to one of your guards who have a better chance to hit a jump shot or maybe drive to the basket.
Talk about a jump shot. How about Zarya Woods? To no avail there. Possession back to Joe Snow and the Crusaders. Gave Joe Snow props a moment ago. Her movement away from the ball is fantastic. Anaya Oliver now, another fast break. Oh, Scarlett Gilmore with a Euro step. Rebound to Jasmine May. Patriots are content to slow it down now that they've tried the fast break. Underneath the Zarya Woods, she's just going to post it up. Shoulder up, and another travel. Zarya Woods is a bit surprised. You can see her put her hand to her mouth. She does not like that call. And I think this is where, for the Patriots and for Belmont Abbey, they need to pay close attention to the patterns of the officials and say, hey, all right, well, travels are going to be called very tightly. Yep. I better have steadier feet. Will either team adjust to that and, make sure that they don't end up with those, again, broken possessions that maybe could have been avoided.
And that's always difficult for players to adjust to the officials' calls, definitely.
24, Kiana Spivey.
Spivey knocks it down from the elbow. Belmont Abbey closes to within 3. Across the 5-minute point of the second quarter with the Patriots leading 26-23. Keanu Lee up top underneath the Zarya Woods. This time, Zarya Woods is all good. She works her way around with the right hand, knocks down the lay-in. Belmont Abbey back in possession. So Belmont Abbey now content to slow things down, do their ball control and ball possession game plan. Inside and out they go. Driving the lane is number 35. No problems for Sydney Addison. The Brasstown, North Carolina native knocks it down. So for Belmont Abbey, they're making a lot of strokes from 6 to 8 feet. A lot of close to the rim baskets. Patriots counter with one of their own. Lauren Taylor knocks it down.
Yeah, tough baskets has been the headline for Belmont Abbey so far. They've been hitting a lot of tough baskets, back to the rim, sort of turnaround jumpers. So, yeah, I'll have to agree with that, Paul.
Yep, and we're past the halfway point, so we're going to get the media timeout. Patriots have a 5-point lead, 30-25, 4:01 to go in the second quarter.
The Swanfox Club is the fundraising arm of the Francis Marion University Athletic Department, and it supplies assistance to all 14 intercollegiate sports. On behalf of the student athletes at Francis Marion, I would like to thank all those who are members of the Swanfox Club for their support.
Thank you.
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 Conference Carolinas is committed to aligning with businesses that share our common values and, like us, strive to attain excellence and virtue in all endeavors. We work hard to make our corporate partnerships a truly beneficial relationship through mutually agreed upon customization that will lead to unparalleled exposure. Conference Carolinas likes to thank and would certainly like to thank the current corporate partners, Barnes & Noble College, Bufkin & Baker, Cambria Hotel, Championship Award guys, Formetco, Herf Jones, Hometown Ticketing, Marriott Spartanburg, McGriff Insurance Services, Macmillan Pasden Smith Plus Incorporated, Score Shots, SCS by Floor Action Inc., Sidearm Sports, Southern Recognition LLC, South State Bank, THS Constructors Inc., Ticket Smarter, and Toledo Ticket Technologies. We continue after the media timeout. 3:53 to go. Patriots with possession. How about an attempt from Lauren Taylor? That one goes awry. She had knocked a three down moments ago, a few minutes ago, so she kind of felt that hot hand. This time, instead, rebound to Belmont Abbey. Working her way underneath is number 24, trying to get some space is Keona Spivey. To no avail. Rebound to the Patriots. Fast break is thwarted by Taylor Stelly. Stelly comes the other way for the Crusaders. Ball to Joe Snow. Snow to Stelly.
She wanted that three-pointer, Paul, I'll tell you what.
Good on Scarlett Gilmore to get in her face just enough to make her hesitate.
Yep.
And it's just like what you were talking about before. Will the Patriots get a shadow on Joe Snow? And you called it just enough from Scarlett Gilmore to give her the hesitation. And that's all it takes to slow Snow down. And for Snow, it's important for the Patriots to handle her. She hits her trays at a 4-12 clip, knocking down 47 threes on the season. At the line is Taylor Stelly. Stelly knocks it down. Possession back to the Patriots. Taylor with the ball at the top. Stelly tries to contest Scarlett Gilmore. Gilmore just saves it, but the in pass to Zarya Woods is thwarted. Here comes Joe Snow. Snow with a miss. This time, no numbers for the Patriots. I would expect that they would slow things down. And instead, sure enough, they're going to call a charge foul. That's a charge against Anaya Oliver. The charge foul has been the call of the day here against both squads. The charge has been the call when, hey, you can question whether or not that blocker was in position or not, but there's no question that the officials are calling that tightly, giving the blockers free rein to get in position and get that charge called against.
Yeah, I think that kind of lets these bigs know, hey, be careful with some of your post moves because we're calling it tight, and if we see anything too aggressive, we're going to get you for it.
That's right. Kick ball on the Patriots. Keanu Lee with the kick. Coming in the game is going to be Malaya Owens. She's going to give Anaya Oliver a bit of a break here. About 2:30 to go, and this is a good spot for Malaya Owens to help give that breather and also kind of show another wrinkle to the Crusaders. Up and over, just a miss. More rebounding. Woes for the Patriots. That's an offensive rebound for the Crusaders, and the follow, Joe Snow with a finish.
Yeah, that's child's play for Joe Snow. I mean, you give her so much space like that, she's going to have no trouble finishing a basket for the Crusaders.
That's right. Easily the top offensive threat for the Crusaders. And Belmont Abbey vying to take a lead, which they haven't had since midway through the first quarter. Since then, it's really been more Patriots after a strong momentum start for the Crusaders. Sure enough, how about the lefty stroke from Kelly Thomas? And that lefty stroke from the long lefty. Beautiful swing, beautiful throw from her. Great toss. And I keep saying toss and throw, but it is a perfect stroke from her to knock that down. Taylor is blocked, but it's going to be a call against number 32, Kelly Thomas. So, again, that foul underneath. So the officials recognizing that this is a game under the rim, they're going to take control of this game and make sure things don't get out of hand. Therefore, the call there.
And you say, you know, they could take control of this game. That is a dangerous thing for both of these squads with how active they are underneath the basket. So calls could come down to it here in this matchup, Paul.
That's right. And again, as we mentioned before, they're just going to have to adjust to that type of style of calls from the officials. They're calling it relatively tight just to make sure things don't get out of control, which is certainly possible when you're talking about tall players working underneath. There's not a whole lot of room to work down there. There's elbows flying around, so the officials have definitely sent their message today. Taylor Stelly works it underneath to past a stumbling Jasmine Stanley. Autry with the easy 2. Lauren Taylor with the 3-point shot. And she's not using a whole lot of shot clock there. Instead, she takes one look at the rim, and as you said, that's her favorite shot. But I think they've got to consider other options than shooting right out of the start after crossing the half-court line. Malaya Owens handles the ball with 36 seconds to go. Back to Keanu Lee. Lee, definitely a star of the first half for the Patriots. Lee with 7 points on the day. Three-pointer from Malaya Owens goes awry. And we'll get the last shot attempt from Belmont Abbey College. 16 seconds left. The shot clock is off. So Stelly's going to chill out from the circle up at the logo and wait to set things up with 6 seconds to go. Now we'll see the play. Sure enough, Joe Snow is the catalyst. She drives all the way underneath. She knocks it down with a 1.2 seconds to go. Quite similar to Keanu Lee finishing the first quarter. It's going to be a last-second bucket for for Snow, along with an opportunity to finish off the three-point play. 1.2 seconds to go. Belmont Abbey leads 37-31.
And, you know, I'm a bit of a classical person when it comes to the game of basketball. So when you have someone as fast as Snow driving to the paint, if you're going to foul them, you better make sure they miss that shot because somebody like her is going to make sure you pay for it.
That's right. You can't give her any open space. So 1.2 seconds ago, the Patriots will try for a last-second shot. The shot is off in time, but no good from Scarlett Gilmore. At the end of the first half, Belmont Abbey leads 38-31. So we're going to come back here in just a few minutes to recap the first 2 quarters of the game. How about if you come back and join us? We're going to be back with 5 minutes to go. That's in 10 minutes from now. Alex and I will come back to recap the first half. Thanks again for joining us on the FM Sports Network, where the Crusaders lead 38-31.
The world is changing, and Francis Marion University is leading the way as it prepares the young men and women for the future. We've added 5 new classroom buildings and 13 new academic programs in the past 6 years, and more are on the way. We're preparing to build a new environmental research center. We're expanding programs in engineering, business, education, healthcare, and the arts and sciences, and we're adding new fields when they're needed. When tomorrow comes, we'll be ready. Best of all, our students will too.
Let me paint you a picture. All of the graduates, all of the faculty, all of the administration, all of the Board of Trustees is decked out in their regalia. Their black robes, their hats, their gold tassels. It's just a most beautiful picture of a very formal kind of occasion. And here we march into the gymnasium, and the music is playing, and the gym is packed. And as we come in, and as you look up at all those people, you see families, huge families. You see not just mama and daddy and 2 brothers and a sister, but there's grandmama and granddaddy, there's the aunt and the uncle, they're the cousins, they're the next door neighbors. And you know why all those people are there? Because this is the very first one, the very first graduate. And I can guarantee you that when you go to that graduation, you leave with a tear in your eye, because it's so, so special.
The desire and the love to take care of people is something that you kind of have innate. You kind of just have that thing. But Francis Marion gave me the principles, and they taught me the core values. They taught me leadership qualities, and they've just been foundational and offered a family that I can keep going back to. So even though my personal biological family didn't go to a university, and I didn't really get any experience, wisdom from them for that, I gained a family that could tell me all about college and even the afterlife of college by coming to Francis Marion. And I'm not sure you would have that with, other universities. Throughout the nurse practitioner program, you're already a nurse, and you're a devoted nurse, and you don't want to just quit. And that was another thing I specifically picked this program, was because I was able to look at the curriculum and know that I could work. I even asked a couple of the professors, one being Dr. Hopla, before I started the program, and even she told me, yes, you can still work while you do this. And I did. I worked 40 hours a week, 5 days a week. Sometimes it had to be six days a week. to get my 40 hours in, and I still did the nurse practitioner program. It wasn't easy, but nothing worth having is easy. Which the benefit of having classmates and professors that were both working and studying is, we would get worked up and worried about how would we ever do this. And then they would say, well, I can work these 2 12-hour shifts on the weekends and then have the week to study. Or a professor may say, well, you can get creative with your hours here. So you can tell that they've done this, that you can tell that they've gotten creative with their time as well. And then all of a sudden it doesn't feel like such a daunting task because, again, you gain wisdom from their experience.
Choosing a college isn't easy. There are lots of choices to make and so many variables to consider. How do you know when you've found just the right place? The right college will make you feel at home, and that begins with a sense of place. At Francis Marion University, we have a beautiful campus that's safe, well-maintained, and filled with smiling faces. It's the kind of place where you feel you belong, where you wake up in the morning and know that the day ahead will be one you'll savor and enjoy. Now, that doesn't mean life at FMU is easy. There will be challenges. Hard work is expected. We take our academics seriously. You should too. Earning one of our degrees is a real achievement. But some toil, some time invested in a difficult task, that's okay. That's how you grow, how you become someone. FMU is a comprehensive public university, and when it comes to academics, our students have a wide range of choices. We offer more than 75 majors and courses of study. Our professional schools in healthcare, engineering, business, and education are all well-known and respected across the state. At the same time, the arts and the sciences remain the core of what we do. They are the perfect foundation for a successful career and a meaningful life. Programs are important, and we'll continue to work to produce new curriculum that meets the needs of our changing world. But we also know that a great education is less about what is taught and more about who is doing the teaching. FMU's faculty is made up of distinguished scholars and renowned researchers. They're experts in their field and expert teachers too. They love the give and take of the classroom and revel in the progress their students make. In FMU's intimate academic environment, where small classes are the norm, you'll get to know a lot of these dedicated men and women. Some you will remember forever. The academic work and its rewards are why you are here. But there will be a time and place for play, too. We have more than 60 different student organizations and field teams in 14 NCAA sports. A robust schedule of extracurriculars is a big part of each semester. You'll find space here for rest and relaxation. You'll make new friends and build relationships that last a lifetime. And then, almost as quickly as it all began, it will be over. You will graduate and move on to a life and career full of promise. You'll leave memories behind. You'll leave FMU, but you'll be welcome back anytime. Home is like that, you know. Welcome home. Welcome to FMU.
Carolinas. It will encompass all original programming from Conference Carolinas. The Conference Carolinas digital network is available online at conferencecarolinas.com. FMUSDN.com, as well as on platforms such as Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, and Apple TV. Mobile devices, including iPhone, iPad, and Android, will also operate with the default web browser. Learn more and start watching now on ConferenceCarolinas.dn.com. So, Alex, how about that first half? Belmont Abbey started strong. FMU late in the first quarter, midway through the second quarter, it was all FMU. Finished with a strong Belmont Abbey finish, and you're left with a 38-31 lead for the visiting Belmont Abbey Crusaders.
Well, Paul, I think it comes down to the thing we talked about the most at the beginning is who's going to win the battle down low. And so far, it has been Belmont Abbey. Something that FMU has kind of prided themselves on all season is being able to dominate down low, having two dominant forwards. Well, newsflash, Patriots, Belmont Abbey also has two dominant forwards. They go by Kelly Thomas and Brittany Autry down low, Brittany Autry has been getting a ton of offensive rebounds down low. She's been getting second chance points. So I think just to kind of wrap up what I'm saying about that is I want to see a little bit of better finishing down low from Frances Marion in the second half, and I want to see a little bit more aggression on the rebounding side because, like I just said, they're known to be dominant down low. Show that dominance.
Yep, certainly, and for as much as you're looking for the Patriots to show that dominance, you've got to give credit to the Crusaders for the defense underneath. Again, Brittany Autry and Kelly Thomas really keying in. A little bit of Keanu Spivey in there causing problems for the Patriots, trying to have success underneath. You talked about the differential. Belmont Abbey with a 10-point differential in points in the paint. So let's talk to you a little bit about some of the stat stuffers, as a famous Dick Vitale would mention. For the Patriots, two players with 7 points, Lauren Taylor and Keanu Lee, each with 7. 5 for Jada Richardson, and for Zarya Woods, only 4 points, going back to the need for more long, tall scoring from the Patriots. Zarya Woods has got to get hot. 4 points just won't cut it in the second half if the Patriots are going to find success here in league play today. Also for Belmont Abbey, we talked a lot about Joe Snow. Joe Snow did a lot of running, did a lot of work from that 2-guard position, but for Joe Snow, only 9 points. Actually leading the way is Autry, number 44. Again, Brianna Autry came into the game really early on. She didn't even start, but she comes in with some nice bench presence for Belmont Abbey, and since then, 12 points, leads the way. I think we're going to see a lot more of Brittany Autry as long as she stays out of foul trouble. Only one foul against Brittany so far today.
So, something I want to point out about Joe Snow. You know, yes, she might not be the leading scorer, but she's drawn 4 fouls against her, which has led her to the free throw line. She's only knocked down 1 of 3, but even giving her the opportunity to get points like that can be dangerous down the road, and you don't want to let a team like Belmont Abbey get those easy opportunities by sending Joe Snow to the line or, you know, letting Autry get those second chance points down low. So great job by Belmont Abbey, though. I mean, they have been playing to their strengths. They haven't really been shooting a lot, like you pointed out, being a great three-point shooting team, but they have done a great job down low against a great paint team in Frances Marion.
That's right. They've really solved the paint defense of the Patriots by going inside out several times. They've worked Snow and also Taylor Stelly driving the lane, kicking the ball out, and then back inside, so that in, out, in is causing problems for the Patriot defense to get set. The result has been easy buckets for Brittany Autry. Now, not all of them have been easy. Brittany Autry has definitely shown some skill underneath the glass too, and that is a credit to her. 4 defensive rebounds, 1 offensive rebound for her. Spivey leads the way offensive rebound-wise. Spivey's got 3 offensive and 3 defensive, so it's been the rebounding advantage and the paint advantage just in general for Belmont Abbey, which is the result in this 7-point lead as we head into the third quarter.
One more thing for me to wrap up this sort of halftime statistics for us. Looking at the halftime stats, rebounds are actually a little bit closer than I thought with Frances Marion and Belmont Abbey. The thing I'm noticing for the Patriots is turnovers. 10 turnovers to Belmont Abbey 6. A lot of those has come on travels, charges, or double dribbles, and assists. You know, getting the ball out to your other teammates, spreading the ball around, and, you know, when you can, feed inside down the post.
That's right, and those unforced errors, as you mentioned, really cost the Patriots. Midway through that second quarter, Patriots still had some momentum, but Belmont Abbey capitalized. Scarlett Gilmore with a three-point try. Great rebound. That's going to be a call against her. And now Lauren Taylor's slapping her hand, not because she got the foul drawn. She's happy about that, but she'd like to do better to try to get that one to go down so she can get the and one opportunity. Instead, it's going to be 2 strokes for Lauren Taylor here. Only 13 seconds in here into the third quarter.
And she's had a lot of trouble getting, you know, balance to get those shots knocked down, or she's had to take them at a lot of tough angles. So good job by the Crusaders defense to kind of set her off her rhythm a little bit.
And on the run is Belmont Abbey. Taylor Stelly trying to get things started, but they think against it, so Stelly back up at the point, flips it underneath. More Spivey. Spivey barely misses. Another great rebound by the Crusaders. Belmont Abbey resets. Joe Snow with the ball. She's going to shake and bake. She makes her way all the way to the baseline. Throws up an air ball, but rebound. And we're going to see a call early on. So the officials are going to get together and consult on the call. I think what they're going to do is they're going to say that the shot clock should not have reset, because I believe that that shot clock had reset. We'll have to see what the call is over here on the floor. And meanwhile, the players are kind of standing around waiting to see what is going on while the official does consult down underneath. So I wouldn't say that a lot of momentum has been lost. Only a few seconds here into this first quarter. Yep, so we're going to get back to it. Okay, so they're going to add some time to the clock because the shot clock should not have reset. So sure enough, 14 seconds is the shot clock on the side of Belmont Abbey. Taylor Stelly patiently waiting to inbound the ball. Oh, pardon me. It's going to be an inbound from Kiana Spivey. So while we're at it, both the FMU the Patriot baseball team is going to open its season this weekend with a 3-game home series against Limestone University. Game times are 4 p.m. on Friday, 1 p.m. on both Saturday and Sunday. So that's a legendary start between Art Nabonet and the Limestone University coach, former player from FMU many moons ago. Easy play set out of the inbound. Spivey with the finish.
If you're the Patriots there, you have to be able to stop that inbound pass. If you have 2 long players like Woods and Taylor down low, you can't let that pass get over the top.
That's right. And in the meantime, another unforced foul this time is Zarya Woods. Zarya Woods is motioning to her coach to say, hey, I didn't do it. I'm not guilty, but that call is going to stand. So another unforced error with the juggling of the feet on that possession. Ball back to Belmont Abbey. Snow underneath to Spivey. Spivey back to Snow. Snow with a 3-point attempt, and it's good. 3 points for Joe Snow. Joe Snow with a quiet 3-pointer start. No 3-pointers until nearly 2 minutes in here in the third quarter, but the last thing the Patriots want is for Joe Snow to get hot from the 3-point arc. Quality rebound. Now that should be a travel as well. Sure enough, it is. Kelly Thomas, and that's an easy call. Now Kelly Thomas is going palms up, saying I'm not so sure what's going on there, but I think it was obvious that there were multiple steps taken. So possession of the Patriots. We'll see if the Patriots can take advantage of the turnover from Belmont Abbey.
And they're going to add a couple of bench players in there. Keanu Lee coming back in, who had a real big first half.
And Keanu Lee has looked solid, especially on the fast break. She's really been on the run. Got a nice opportunity at the end of the first quarter. Got a 3-point play to go to finish things off there. And the players just continue to be in shock. That's going to be a foul against Snow, number 5. So the Patriots with another nice opportunity, drawing fouls. That's Snow's second foul of the game. But we'll have to see how the Crusaders respond. Keanu Lee receives the inbound pass. Oh, handling the ball underneath, stopping the pass, but admittedly, Zarya Woods was almost triple teamed down there underneath. Fast break from Crusaders, not quite effective. Another possession of the Patriots, but that last pass a moment ago, trying to sneak that pass into a triple teamed Zarya Woods. Boy, that's a tough task against what is a solid Crusaders defense. Even one-on-one passes have been hard to come by. Jada Richards, all three of these. Well, just what the Patriots needed, just what the doctor ordered. How about three-pointer from Jada Richards?
She's a three-point specialist, a former defensive player of the week this season. She is a really special piece of the Patriots' depth coming off that bench.
Yep, and a freshman. We're going to see her for the rest of this season and 3 more seasons. So good on Coach Jerry Porter to bring that talent right here to Florence. Underneath to Zarya Woods. Woods is going to flick it back outside. Oh, a good touch from Jada Richards is just off the mark. Rebound to Belmont Abbey. Underneath, without any issues, Kiana Spivey, she gets stopped. Here come the Patriots. Underneath to Lauren Taylor. She finally gets one to go, and the foul. That's an and one. Great work to get that ball underneath to Lauren Taylor. And you can see Lauren Taylor finishes. Lauren Taylor slaps her hand, pleased with her own work. I think she had been displeased by her not being able to finish earlier on in this game. That's a solid finish. That's just what the Patriots needed.
Yeah, she's absolutely been trying to finish that play ever since the first half. She's been getting a lot of chances at the free throw line, but just hasn't been able to hit that shot that gets her to the free throw line. And I think she finally hits it, and she knew she could finish those type of shots. And when she finally got to do it, I think that was a lot of clarity for her to continue the game.
That's right, and for her, if that adds a little bit of confidence after what was maybe a rough underneath start for her in the first 2 quarters, if that gets things going, how about that catalyst for her to get things going underneath the rim? In the meantime, Jo Snow with another teardrop, beautiful stroke from about 10 feet. She gets it to go. Jo Snow getting hot here at the University Center here at Francis Marion University. Zarya Woods with an answer. Zarya Woods on the glass. She gets the 2 to go.
If something with Jo Snow is she has the ability to split a defense. That's the one thing you can't let her do, and you did that on the last possession.
Yep, and she does it with one thing. I can give you one word: speed. She is the fastest player out on the floor.
Yep.
Both squads here. I think that's obvious. A great asset for the Belmont Abbey Crusaders.
And I think, what I was saying earlier about having to shadow her, even that might not work because one jab step, she's able to get by. She's able enough to create space so she can get a shot up from behind the arc, or she can drive straight to the basket, hit a floater like we saw in that last possession.
Yes, and we haven't seen a ton of screen work to try to free her up. She's just being charged with getting free and trying to get open shots on her own accord. So how about an open shot? In and out is the open stroke from Taylor Stelly. And the Patriots are going to recover and get the ball back. It'll be Zarya Woods. Zarya Woods really working hard. She's going palms up. She's a little frustrated with how things are going. And we're going to get a bit of a man-up defense now on the inbound against the Patriots. So we'll see how that materializes. All right, well, Belmont Abbey's more than content to step back. A little bit of trap there. And it's going to be a foul against Stelly. Oh, pardon me. That's going to be a call against Keanu Lee. They're going to call the offensive foul against the Patriots. Okay, they did change that call to Taylor Stelly. At first, they motioned for Keanu Lee, and I think that the official definitely got it right on that one. That's definitely a call against Stelly. Richards handles the ball from the top of the arc. Patriots trying to move the ball around, trying to get some freedom. Nice tight man-up defense against the Patriots is the Crusaders, causing problems for the Patriots, trying to generate offense. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Keanu Lee's going to have to come up with something. How about the shot from Richards? Richards goes off the glass. They get the shot off. Rebound, though, to Belmont Abbey. Snow flicks it out. Snow's going to draw the foul. Snow's going to flick it over to Alexis Schultz, who draws the foul from the elbow.
Now the Patriots, number 20.
Just a really good pump fake from Schultz, able to get around Keanu Lee, and then an unwarranted foul by the Patriots. Probably a foul you shouldn't have committed. You probably should have let her take the shot, even though if you are going to foul her, like I said earlier, if you're going to foul her, make sure she misses that. And they did, so we'll see if she can knock down 2 here at the line.
Right. The key there is to contest without fouling. Not an easy job. It's easy to say here from the broadcast booth, but you've got to make an effort not to make an obvious touch like that one. That one wasn't even a subtle touch of the elbow. There was physical contact, and the beneficiary of 2 free throws is Alexis Schultz. She knocks down the first. She's going to get them both. Belmont Abbey with a 6-point lead. We're nearing the media timeout. 5:12 to go in the third quarter. Patriots are trying to gain some momentum. They had it late in the first quarter, early on into the second, but then after that, it was all Belmont Abbey. Keanu Lee handles the ball. She's going to dribble to the elbow. Sneaks her way in. No foul. She goes down in pain. Okay, so she's down. And she definitely hit the deck super duper hard. We're going to get the media timeout here in just a moment. And before we do, let's talk about Conference Carolinas. That's where the tradition is unmatched and excellence is earned daily. 13 current member institutions who work hard daily to build champions in body, mind, and soul. It's who we are. Please visit conferencecarolinas.com to learn more about Conference Carolinas.
This is Conference Carolinas.
We're back at it here at Francis Marion University. We are in the Smith University Center along with Alex Wober. I'm Paul McDonald, bringing you this very, very intriguing game between a Patriots squad that has won 7 of their last 8, Belmont Abbey 6 of their last 7. So this is a clash of 2 squads, both with 9 wins in conference, both vying to get to 10 to get to a tie for 4th place in Conference Carolinas. Out of the break, Keanu Lee went down in some pain, but she seems to be back at it. And we're thankful that Keanu Lee didn't have any issues there and is able to return to play. Keanu was a big part of a surge late in the first quarter. Keanu Lee for the Patriots with 7 points on the day. Rebound to the Patriots. So we're going to get things going. Jada Richards with a smile is going to try to get that ball underneath to Lauren Taylor. Lauren Taylor's got the look in her eye. She was saying, give me the ball, and she knocks it down. Good work by Lauren Taylor.
I think when you see that look in their eye, I think you know exactly what to do. Pass the ball.
Give me the ball. And she was really saying that without so many words, and she did knock that glass down. But I do like the answer from Alexis Schultz. Schultz with a couple of free throws a moment ago. Now seeing some key action for Schultz. Schultz now 4 points on the game, but 4 key points, all of those here in the third quarter. Anaya Oliver with the ball. We're going to call a foul underneath. And this is a call that the coaching staff is really not going to be pleased about, is the Crusaders. That foul call was from an official clear across the court without the proximity of observing that play. So I'm a little surprised that the whistle came out on that one, but to no avail. The arguments are going to fail. That's a foul against Alexis Schultz. That's going to put Keanu Lee on the line. So Lee at the line knocks down the first, and again, she went down moments ago, so clearly she's still got her stroke. That shot looks just as good as it did earlier in the game. 2 for her from the free throw line. She now has 9 on the day. Taylor Stelly initiates the offense nicely for the Crusaders. And then a pass inside. Easy work by Brittany Autry to knock down the Glasser.
Even with good late defense from Lee there, it's not enough to contest Autry's shot enough there. She's going to be able to knock down easy baskets like that if you give her the opportunity.
Yes, and it's a well drawn up play. It was a pass to a long pass from Staley all the way down to the baseline, and they're going to do it again to a trailing Autry. That leaves an opportunity to get to the glass. You see the Crusaders try the exact same play again, this time well defended by the Patriots. Unforced turnover by Jada Richards. I know we talked about those unforced ones. That seems to be the plague that the Patriots are really dealing with right now. They start to get something going, then it's a giveaway. The Patriots are clawing back. They were down by as many as 6 at the half, 37-31. They've clawed back to within 4. But I got to give some credit. I know we haven't talked about Taylor Stelly a whole lot, but she has calmly handled the duties for Belmont Abbey at the point all game without hesitation. She is not to be shaken. Airball is successfully rebounded and rebounded again. So nearly 2 offensive rebounds, and the second one nearly corralled by Brittany Autry. Great work by Belmont Abbey on the glass to get even that second chance opportunity. Patriots, though, will regroup and come back to it.
Patriots, if I'm the Patriots here, you know, I always keep what you're doing on defense, but you're in the bonus. Drive to the basket. Try to get to the free throw line. Keanu Lee especially, who's almost been perfect from the free throw line this evening.
Yep, and there's Stelly. Stelly takes it all the way to the hole. Stelly just misses, but now she's going to chase Keanu Lee. Opportunity from the corner is Oliver. Oliver misses. Underneath, rebound. Great work. Keona Bryant into the game for the Patriots. Fayetteville, North Carolina native. Terry Sanford High School product gets her first basket of the game. Down underneath again. Good work by Autry. And Zarya Woods says, let's go. So she's really getting pumped up, trying to put the defense on underneath. And she's going to need to be as pumped up as she can against Brianna Autry. She's really been assigned to her. Now, Kiana Spivey with the foul against. And as you said, in the bonus are the Patriots. So the Patriots should be making their way down to the free throw line to take some shots from the free throw stripe.
And Keanu Bryant, she immediately got into the game, scored a basket, got a nice rebound, then went back down the court, scored another basket. So she's one who hasn't seen many minutes this season. She is a freshman, a young player in this Porter coach Patriots team. But when she gets on the court, just like a lot of these players on the bench, they make every minute count, and they make sure that they can have an impact on the game. Like last game for the Patriots, Janiah Haygood came in, got some quality minutes. She ended up putting over 10 points in her debut. So, like I said, Patriots players coming off the bench, they're able to provide, and like we're seeing right now, tie game here, 51-all.
Well, the Patriots have clawed their way back. We'll have to see what they can do continuing here, putting the pressure on Belmont Abbey. Belmont Abbey in a bit of a quiet stretch here offensively. Snow with some slick work underneath the rim, kicks it out to Stelly. Stelly with the three-pointer, and for Belmont Abbey, just what Belmont Abbey was needing out there on the floor. How about a three-pointer? The first three-pointer of the game for Taylor Stelly.
And although they haven't shot much, it could be the reason they get back into this game because they are so good at shooting the ball.
Yep, so it's going to be a call is the travel is the call against Anaya Oliver. Then Oliver's going to get teed up for her reaction to the travel call. Definitely not what the Patriots wanted, was a technical foul against. Now, I appreciate Anaya Oliver's energy and exuberance and a desire to do a little bit better, but I think that call may be justified. She did it right in front of the official, so I think that call is going to stand. Anaya Oliver's got to catch her breath and hopefully get back to things. The Patriots were gaining momentum, and then the Taylor-Stelly three-pointer, and now the technical foul against Anaya Oliver. That's going to be an opportunity for Alexis Schultz at the line.
One thing there, Paul, is I thought it was a bit of a close call. I didn't really see that much shuffling of the feet, but, respect the call of the officials. It's one thing to commit an unforced turnover like that. It's another thing to affect the team even more by gifting your opponent from some free throws at the line.
Right. And you do appreciate, and I do appreciate the emotion that is poured into this game. These athletes work very, very hard, but they have to adjust with the punches. And we had mentioned in the first and second quarters that the calls were tight, and we would see if either team would adjust and understand. Well, in this case, Anaya Oliver definitely disagreed, and it cost her in how she showed it.
And we also said calls could come down to this game. They could be the reason why one of these teams wins. You never want that to be the case, really, but it could end up being like that.
Oh, Jada Snow just blows by the defense of the Patriots, knocks it down. So Joe Snow, speeding to and through the lane to knock it down. 1 minute to go in the third quarter. And again, a mishandle by the side of the Patriots. Snow again handles the ball down underneath. Great rebounding by Belmont Abbey. 2 offensive rebounds on the same possession. 37 seconds to go in the third quarter, 14 on the shot clock. Stelly's going to slow things down for Belmont Abbey. Back around the top to Snow. Screen is effective on the side of the Crusaders. In and out is the stroke from Alexis Schultz. Patriots are going to hold up. They can take the last shot here, but with a deficit, I don't think that they're going to be satisfied with waiting too long. Stelly's going to take it right to the rim. She decides to hand it to a teammate, and the Patriots the Patriots really got away with a bad possession there. They are lucky to have gotten away with not having this be a 59-51 lead. Instead, 57-51 after 3. We'll take a break. When we come back, the fourth quarter, Patriots down to the Crusaders, 57-51.
The Swanfalls Club is a fundraising arm of the Francis Marion University Athletic Department, and it supplies assistance to all 14 intercollegiate sports. On behalf of the student athletes at Francis Marion, I would like to thank all those who are members of the Swanfalls Club for their support.
Thank you.
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 Welcome back to the Smith University Center, where the Patriots find themselves behind by 6 after 3 quarters. The Crusaders lead 57-51. Couple of key points here. Boy, you got to give a lot of credit to Belmont Abbey. Joe Snow leading the way along with Autry. Each of them have 16 points. So Snow with the slice and dice work to get underneath the rim. And for Brittany Autry, she's just camped out under the rim. She is outstronging the Patriots bigs in Lauren Stanley and Zarya Woods.
Yeah, it's been very difficult, I think, for the Patriots to kind of just fathom this, because they're used to being so dominant on rebounds, dominant on second chance points, and just overall in the paint, and they have been met their match tonight.
Yep, and for Belmont Abbey, they've really shown themselves to be up to the task of handling those bigs. As you mentioned, it's been a credit to the Crusaders' defense. They've been playing in a man defense the whole game. They've not shown any looks of zone or anything except a little bit of press early in the first half. They did press a couple of times on the full court, but otherwise they've been satisfied with letting the Patriots get into their half-court offense, and then they get set up underneath, and they make sure to put a body on Lauren Stanley. They're putting a body on Lauren Taylor and Zarya Woods. The result, Belmont Abbey with an 8-point lead here early on in quarter 4. Keanu Lee gets it back to Taylor. Taylor satisfied with the mid-range J. Rebound to Zarya Woods. Zarya rebounds her own. She's slapping her hand because she's saying that she wants to finish that at the rim so she can get that and one. I like that intensity as long as she doesn't negatively fuel herself into kind of overthinking things. Instead, she's just got to stay at it. She knows what she does best. That's working the rim, that lefty touch, getting that up on the glass.
And for the Patriots, if they're going to get to the free throw line, they have to make these, being down by 8, 9 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. These free throws are going to be crucial.
Yes, and with the clock stopped, it's the best spot for the Patriots to come back. When you've got the clock stopped and you got a chance to score, hey, that's it. That's the chance for the Patriots to get back into it, because right now Belmont Abbey definitely has the momentum and they have the game plan. They have really figured it out on the floor offensively, minus that turnover. The broadcaster jinx. Patriots take it back. Underneath the rim, Anaya Oliver, and that ball is missed. And we've got Taylor Staley up between the circles. And for Taylor Staley, she's going to take the air out of the ball. They've been working the ball underneath very, very hard. So now they're going to go ahead and work a little shot clock. Down to 9 on the clock. Down to 5. Possession to Snow. Snow's going to work her way down. 1 second left. She's going to run out of time. So great defense on the side of the Patriots. I like the strategy of Belmont Abbey, but I think they waited a little too long to pull the trigger there. The result, a shot clock foul, ball back to the Patriots.
And if you're Belmont Abbey, have a little bit of faith in your shot. Like you said earlier, one of the best shooting teams in this league. You have to trust yourself. Get it to Snow, get it to Selly or Schultz, who also has been good with the flick of the wrist tonight.
Jada Richards got hot midway through the second quarter. Over to Lee. Lee with a little crossover. She's going to take it to the paint, kick it out. 9 seconds to go on the clock. Up and over and in is Anaya Oliver. So Oliver was foiled on the last possession. This time, no mistake. She knocks it down. Talk about no mistake. How about just a swift, quick one dribble on the floor for Brittany Autry. Up and over with the little baby hook. Knocks it down. Belmont Abbey 61-53.
Belmont Abbey has just been so successful down low tonight. Autry going to the free throw line, being able to really get Woods and Taylor off their game and kind of get into their heads a little bit defensively, because she's continuing to score points. And then you also have to watch out for Snow, who's hitting her shots as well.
Taylor tries to slip it underneath with a bounce pass. I was not expecting the bounce pass down to Zarya Woods. Now we're back to Taylor. Taylor elbows her way through. Can't quite finish. She had position. Crusaders take over. Taylor Stelly. Back to Stelly. Good ball control and ball movement by the Crusaders. Now the two-guard Snow with the ball. She's going to take it to the lane, and that's going to be a foul against. That's going to be a foul against Jada Richards. And I want to see if they're going to call that as on. Oh, it's going to be a two-shot foul.
And not to, incite hard fouls or anything like that. But like I said earlier, if you're going to foul a player like Snow, you have to make sure you do it right. Don't let her even get the opportunity to put a layup like that.
Yep, and at the media timeout, Crusaders with a 10-point lead.
The world is changing, and Francis Marion University is leading the way as it prepares the young men and women for the future. We've added 5 new classroom buildings and 13 new academic programs in the past 6 years, and more are on the way. We're preparing to build a new environmental research center. We're expanding programs in engineering, business, education, healthcare, and the arts and sciences, and we're adding new fields when they're needed. When tomorrow comes, we'll be ready. Best of all, our students will too.
FM Patriots Network, where the Crusaders hold a commanding 63-53 lead. 7:03 to go in the fourth. make sure to keep up with all the great things happening in Conference Carolinas through social media. You can follow Conference Carolinas on Twitter and Insta at Conf Carolinas. That's at CONF Carolinas. Make sure to also like Conference Carolinas on Facebook at facebook.com/Conference Carolinas. Keep up to date on all of the things happening in the Conference Carolinas by visiting conferencecarolinas.com daily. Well, Belmont Abbey has really kind of found the chemistry and the game plan here against the Patriots. It's been maybe a slight mix of jump shots, but it's been a heavy dose of working that ball underneath the rim. And to Brittany Autry, who has really been the beneficiary. Autry now with 18 points on the game. Mix in Joe Snow driving the lane with a couple of mixed-in shots. Only one three-point stroke on the day. She has 18. Misses the front end, kind of a rare miss for her. She's been shooting on all cylinders here late in the game. Out to Richards. Possession to the Patriots. Patriots with a 10-point deficit they're working on. A long-distance three-point shot from Jada Richards. Jada Richards turned in dismay, not recognizing that she could have been available because there was an offensive rebound on the side of the Patriots. So that mentality is very, very important on the side of the Patriots, just to stick with it. There is plenty of time to take a few bites into this lead and get back into this. The Patriots have proven they can score under the rim. They can knock down a couple of threes. So let's see what the Patriots have in mind defensively to stop the possession of the Crusaders with, again, the steady point guard work of Taylor Stelly.
I think if you're Belmont Abbey here with a 10-point lead at Francis Marion's home stage, milk as much clock as you can on that shot clock and, get it down to 10 inside 10 seconds.
That's right, and they did so a few possessions ago, but then they actually had a shot clock violation. They actually used just a little too much without getting that shot off. Back to Stelly. Stelly has been steady so far today. I can't say enough about her work at the point. Good rebound by the Patriots. Patriots going to work things fastly by Oliver. Oliver's going to drive the lane. She moves right by Alexis Schultz for a score. Schultz smartly does not foul. There's no need to foul there. Put the pressure on. Jada Snow, wide open tray, just misses. And that's going to be a foul against the Patriots.
And for the Patriots, number 4, Scarlett Gilmore.
I believe they called a travel on that, Paul. I think it was a travel on Autry down low.
Okay, well, that's fortunate because it really looked like it was going to be a foul against Jada Richards. That would have been Richards' 5th. So we're going to take a break here, a quick break here. Crusaders remain on top, 63-55. The FMU softball team will open its season this weekend. They host Westchester University for a doubleheader on Saturday at 1 p.m. and USC Aiken for a twin bill on Sunday at 1. FMU men's and women's tennis teams host the Raines Company City of Florence Invite Friday and Saturday at the Eddie Floyd Florence Tennis Center. Patriot men will play nationally ranked Lander on Friday at 2, and then will play on Saturday at 9 and 2. FMU women open with Newberry College Friday at 4, and then they play Saturday at 11 and 4 o'clock. Lots of great FMU action to catch up on this weekend. How about that shot from Gilmore? Patriots were really looking for a spark from Gilmore. A three-pointer would have brought them to within 5, but instead, rebound to the Crusaders.
Her shooting struggles continue in this game. Still hasn't hit a three-pointer in the last 2 games, but she has been trying to get back on rhythm. So you know what they say about shooters, don't stop shooting. But in this case, down this amount, you may want to stop taking those shots from 3.
And underneath, using all the clock this time, air ball is rebounded by the Patriots. Oh, and a quick juggle step, and that's going to be a foul against number 11, Anaya Oliver. So Taylor Stelly well positioned to take that charge. Taylor Stelly has been steady. If she doesn't already have this nickname, I would love to call her Steady Stelly. I think in any practice, that's what you see from the number 0 for the Crusaders. She just keeps at it, and she has not come off the floor today. Patriots down by 8, 4:30 to go in the game. 10 seconds on the shot clock for the Crusaders. A jab step shot, and then, of course, the miss on the pass from Peyton Nation. Nation was thinking about taking a shot. She fakes the jump, and then on the pass, totally misses any other teammate. So possession back to the Patriots. Patriots are fortunate because the Crusaders were really handling that possession relatively well until Nation sent that ball out of bounds.
Right, and for the Patriots here on this offensive possession, last possession you had the turnover with the charge on Oliver. You're sitting at 3 fouls right now. You don't want to get 2 more and, help send Belmont Abbey to the free throw line.
Oh, and I love the quick handles, smart handles on the side of Brittany Autry. Autry sends the ball to Snow. Snow tries to lay it in, but Snow couldn't quite get it to go, but I like that fast break. That fast break for the Crusaders is really starting to cause problems for the Patriots. And that's a foul against Lauren Taylor, and the Patriot faithful would really like for that not to be a foul, but instead it's going to be the call. But as you hear the jeers from the crowd, I think the Patriot fans are looking for any kind of hope, any kind of break to try to cut into the Belmont Abbey lead. Belmont Abbey has shown really, really, really strong balance here in the second half. En route to an 8-point lead with 4 minutes to go in the quarter. Taylor Stelly with a shake and bake. It's going to be a foul against the Patriots, Scarlett Gilmore. So Taylor Stelly goes to the line. So Stelly with the shake and bake. She hasn't shown a lot of shake and bake. Usually she's going to go ahead and get rid of it. This time a couple of crossovers. Draws the foul coming from Scarlett Gilmore. Gilmore couldn't keep her balance. The result is 2 attempts from the free throw stripe for Stelly.
And the unfortunate thing, we just talked about it probably less than a minute ago, but don't get to that 5 foul mark. And they did so in less than a minute, putting Belmont Abbey at the line. And that's going to be trouble if you want to get back into this game because it could come down to you having to foul Belmont Abbey.
That's right. And for the Patriots, the other issue for the Patriots, 4 personal fouls for Jada Richards, 4 for Anaya Oliver. So this team in a bit of foul trouble. 2 key players that are known for hot scoring could be at risk of coming out of the game here with less than 4 minutes to go. Zarya Woods is going to just drive it to the rim. 3-point shot from Taylor is missed. Taylor chases her own rebound. Possession back to the Patriots. What an exciting save for Taylor. She chases her own rebound, goes all the way to half court, makes the save. Now the Patriots are on the fly again. Now the foul against, just what the Patriots needed. How about a stoppage and play on the foul? Gilmore's going to get a couple of chances from the free throw line.
And talking about that Lauren Taylor play, I mean, that's the type of player that you want in your program, is someone that's not going to stop. They're going to go after that ball. The play's not over, and Lauren Taylor showed us that right there.
Great effort by Lauren Taylor. The result is pressure on Belmont Abbey, and a chance for points is Scarlett Gilmore. She knocks down the front end. And for the Patriots here, rebounding is so key. You talked about it in the first half of the game. Belmont Abbey clearly the better rebounding squad. If the Patriots can pick up just a couple of rebounds on the Crusaders' misses, they could find themselves clawing back into this and continuing to cut into the Belmont Abbey lead, down to 7 with 3:11 to go in the fourth. High glass is the attempt from Joe Snow. That misses. Patriots have numbers. A little stutter step from Anaya Oliver. Oliver goes to the rim, and she's going to hit that against the rim, so the result is ball to the Crusaders. Taylor Stelly corrals it. Stelly has a very good handle on the rhythm of this game. She knows when to slow it down. She knows when to go fast break. Really got to give props to Taylor Stelly, the senior guard from Kissimmee, Florida. And meanwhile, great work underneath the glass. So Kiana Spivey with the score. Scarlett Gilmore with the foul. So the and one opportunity is Kiana Spivey from the line. Senior forward from Rocky Mount, North Carolina, here has a chance to extend the Belmont Abbey lead back to 10. And she gets it with the rim in, rim out. Back of the glass, she got every bit of that glass before that ball went down, but a point's a point. 10-point lead for Belmont Abbey. Keanu Lee, skip pass over to Richards. Richards is going to hand that ball off to Zarya Woods. Patriots trying to look for an opportunity to get somebody free. Defense has been stellar for Belmont Abbey. And I think the fans are just a little frustrated. The Patriots can't seem to get a good possession going. I think the Crusaders have moved into a more focused defense. They're really clamping down right now. And you can see why they were picked first in the conference in the preseason coaches poll. This is an example. Great defense, answers down on the other side. Belmont Abbey with its greatest lead of the game. They've got a 12-point lead. We're inside of 2 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Well, this Crusaders team has battled against some of the best in Division II women's basketball. I've played a total of 5 ranked opponents this year. They've won a couple, they've lost a couple, but they've got the experience against those really good teams.
Yep, and you talked pregame before we got onto the broadcast about falling by just 1 point to ranked Barton. So that tells you they can play with the best in the nation, let alone the best in the conference. Taylor Stelly flips it underneath. This time the double team is going to go against Kiana Spivey. The result is possession Patriots. And I like the work by the Patriots, but I think what the Patriots are focused too much on is drawing the foul. You could see that she was trying to draw the foul. I think she firstly needs to focus on getting that ball to go down, and then if the foul comes, because two from the line, hey, that's good, but how about a bucket with one more to come? So I think if she can focus a little bit more on going to the glass as opposed to making sure to draw the foul, better things I think will happen for Jada Richards. And in the meantime, she goes down and hits the deck pretty hard. You can see that she really handled things physically well, especially shaking things off to knock down that first free throw. Rebound to the Crusaders. Crusaders with a 9-point lead, closing in on the 1 minute to go level here in the fourth quarter.
And the Crusaders are most likely going to dribble this one out as far as they can.
Yep, and the Patriots can't foul because the Patriots are because Belmont Abbey is in the bonus. Patriots with 5 fouls against them. In and out is the 3-point attempt. Lauren Taylor's going to go to the glass. Can't quite knock down that one. She was hoping to get that clock to stop along with the bucket and the free throw. Instead, she's going to get 2 free throws. Belmont Abbey with an 11-point lead. 42.8 seconds to go. Taylor will get 2 attempts at it, so the Patriots are going to have to get into their in-game strategy while down by 11 points. Make the first, so I think you still got to go with the foul here. With only 42.8 seconds left, you don't have enough time to wait. You've got to stop the clock just as soon as you can there. But you got Jada Richards handling the ball, or handling on defense. The problem there is if she fouls, she will foul out. So Belmont Abbey more than happy to take the air out of the ball. 30 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. A 10-point lead for Belmont Abbey. Joe Snow more than happy to hold on to the ball with 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. They're going to work all of this clock as best they can. Snow over to back to the top of the key is number 24, Kiana Spivey. Now 10 seconds to go, and the Patriots down by 10. Not a lot of hope here. They're going to move the ball around for one last shot. That ball hits off the glass, and the game is over. Belmont Abbey, a commanding finish. They are victorious, 69-59.
And, I mean, Paul, we saw it from the get-go. The Patriots definitely had the firepower to match Belmont Abbey, but when it came down to it, Belmont Abbey might have just been a little bit more ready to play. They were better prepared. They did better at what the Patriots do better, and that's feed and feast inside the paint, second chance points, rebounding. I thought the Patriots had a couple late surges where it looked like they were going to bring it back and take over the lead again, but they're probably looking at themselves like we have to be better next time.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Patriots fall 59-69 to the preseason first place all-conference in the preseason coaches poll, Belmont Abbey, 69-59. FMU is going to go to Lees McRae February 4th, King on February 5th. Meanwhile, they're going to return back to play against Chowan University on February 8th, leading for Belmont Abbey. 20 points for Brittany Autry, number 44, really led the way on the glass. Number 18 for 18 points for Joe Snow. And for FMU, 15 for Lauren Taylor. Richards and Lee with 9 points.
Yeah, honing in a little bit on that Belmont Abbey scoring, Joe Snow and Autry, they were really that dynamic duo for the Crusaders tonight. They were able to dish it outside to Snow, and if she was able to create space, she was able to kind of keep the defense on their toes, and when you least expect it, hit Autry down low in the paint, and she was able to have a really good night against two of the best forwards in this league.
That's right. I think Belmont Abbey had the right game plan, and if it wasn't Snow, it was Stelly really handling the offense for Belmont Abbey. FMU looked good early and midway, but Belmont Abbey opened things up with fantastic play, a little bit of fast break work. Thanks again for joining us on the FMU Sports Network, where the Patriots fall 69-59. Please join us again. Women's basketball will be back at home on February 8th against Chowan. We hope we'll see you then.